Vanakkam, Namaste, greetings to all. Today, the Tuesday, 30th of September 2025, we conduct this meditation daily 3 times on PSSM Tamil Europe Forum, UKTime, 8:45, 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. for world peace and harmony. Our humble request for masters who join us from other nations to calculate according to UK time. Now, a brief introduction to meditation and steps to perform be explained, followed by meditation for 25 minutes with a melodious music. Thereafter, our guest speaker, Rishi Rasavathanan, final year student, St. George's University of London, will give a speech on his medical school journey, followed by discussion and question and answers. Thereafter, Kumasami Pullayya from Sydney, Australia, will give a translation in Tamil. Now I will hand over our forum to Mrs. Radhe Swanyanamamma to conduct meditation. Radhe, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anandi Amma. Greetings to all. Friends, you are all gathered here this evening to meditate and to understand how it helps to generate peace and harmony with oneself. In meditation, we discover we are not separate from life, but part of it. In fact, we are life itself. We have all we need. This realization brings peace, clarity, and a sense of belonging that nothing external can provide. With practice, meditation opens us to beauty, balance, self-care, and growth, guiding us to our potential. Just to let you know, during meditation, you might experience dryness of throat. Therefore, you can drink warm water before and after meditation. So let us meditate. Please take a comfortable sitting position. Remove your glasses if you are wearing one. Interlock your fingers like this and place them on your lap. Keep your feet crossed like this if you are seated in a chair. Those who are seated on the floor, please keep your legs folded or take a lotus position. Now gently close your eyes and observe your breath. The breath that is normal and natural to you. Please observe the smooth, soft inhalation and exhalation that is happening naturally in you. Thoughts might come during meditation. Please ignore them and leave them aside and keep observing your natural, normal breath again and again. Calming music will be played for you to meditate peacefully and happily. Until further announcement, please do not open your eyes. Thank you. Dear meditators, we have only 5 seconds left. Therefore, please come back to your normal awareness. Separate your fingers and place them over your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please open your eyes and clap your hands for 30 seconds for completing this meditation successfully. The universe has showered us with blessings during meditation, and therefore we say a simple thank you to the universe as a whole for everything that it has given to us. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you meditators, Mr. and Mrs. Sriskandaraja and their team for their dedication in the smooth running of this forum and keeping it alive. I also thank PSSM Tamil Europe, PSSM Tamil Global India, YouTamil TV Germany for all the support and encouragement given to us in providing this platform. Also, I thank Anandi Baladasan, Master, for displaying the posters and providing us with the music, Siva Mohan Master for recording this wonderful program, Valha Valamudan Enavalti. I am handing over this platform now to Sri Ayya to introduce our guest speaker. Thank you all.
Vanakkam, Namaste, and warm greetings you all. I'm delighted to introduce Rishi Rasavathanan, finally a medical student at St. George's University of London and the son of my friend Rasavathanan. Born at St. George's Hospital, it will be especially meaningful for him to qualify as a doctor at the very place of his birth. He has a strong interest in ophthalmology while also considering psychiatry as a possible path. Outside of medicine, he enjoys movies and automotive engineering. So now I warmly invite Rishi to share his medical journey with us. Thank you very much indeed. Rishi, now it's your platform now. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you to Sri Kandaraj uncle for inviting me to provide my presentation today. I haven't really done anything like this, so I wasn't really sure what the target audience was, but I prepared a little presentation, and I can sort of speak in Tamil in between as well. I'm glad to do that as well if that's helpful. I'll just try and share my screen now, and everyone can hear me. Is that correct?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Perfect.
Thank you. You can start.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so in today's sort of talk, I thought it'd be helpful to talk about my journey sort of into medicine, the obstacles I faced along the way, the challenges, the difficulties, and the work that goes into sort of studying medicine. So just to start off with, I think it's important to understand the real reason behind why I chose to study medicine. And I can say many things like I want to help people. It was something that inspired me. But I'd have to be honest to myself, and I'd have to say the main reason, the initial push to start medicine was my parents. Um, I think with many parents in the UK, America, everywhere, their parents can be quite, you know, manipulative. So I think my parents really wanted me to study medicine, and it's something that I actually really am grateful that they've sort of put me into, because at that age when you're 11, 12 years old, you don't want to do medicine. You want to go into things like, I don't know, being a financial sort of analyst and making money and things like that. But as I grew older, I realized happiness obviously doesn't come from money, but rather the satisfaction of helping people, speaking with people. And I think I'm also the eldest child in the family, and therefore naturally I'd have to be a role model to my younger siblings. I've got two younger brothers, and therefore I decided to study medicine. And um, another reason why I didn't choose any other sort of degree or any other profession was the fact that I'd tried a lot of places. I'd sort of done work experiences, multiple areas, but I didn't enjoy it as much. And I could never be sort of stuck behind a screen sort of staring at a screen all day. I really enjoy, communicating with people, speaking with people, and it's something that makes me feel happy. And I think it'd be wrong for me to do a job that doesn't make me feel happy, because happiness is the only sort of way that the job feels satisfactory and you can enjoy it as much as you can. And I think naturally I'm quite a curious person. I like to ask about why things are the way they are. And medicine is a very complex sort of process in itself, but there's many intricacies and different things to understand, which definitely sort of satisfied my curiosity for the hunger. And sort of early on, I was in my childhood, I think like many children across the country, my parents pushed me into every single thing they could think of. I was doing keyboard, violin, Tamil school, karate, computing, Barbie class, which is quite similar to the meditation that we did earlier on. This on Sundays, and I think coming back to the meditation that I did at the start of just this meeting, it reminded me of what I used to do when I was 16, 17, and then slowly as time went on, we got busy and then we stopped doing those things. But Barbie really promoted meditation, mindfulness, positive thinking, and things like that. And everything just sort of came back to me when we did the meditation, which I really enjoyed. And then obviously, as with most children in the UK, we have the 11 plus at the age of 11. And therefore, I was doing lots of tuitions, two daily minimum, up to three, four a day. And it meant that I was doing a lot of work until 8, 9 as a 7, 8-year-old kid. But I think that's where you initially build discipline, character, and things like this, because I think there's a saying in Tamil. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think something like அஞ்சுல விளையாது ஐம்பதுல விளையாது. So something like, so I think it's really important to sort of cultivate these good characters, discipline, and things like that from a young age. And then after that, I did the level plus, but my route wasn't easy. I actually failed my target, which was Wilson's. I failed by 3 marks, which and they'd know about Wilson's. And I failed that by 3 marks, which meant that I had to go to my second option, which was Wallington, which is near to Wilson's. And I realized, that was my first case of failure in life, because I'd been on a straight path and then I did the 11 plus and then I didn't get what I wanted. And it meant that I had to change my direction. I realized that, not everything is for the worst. I always think of it as, if something doesn't go my way, it's because God doesn't want me to go that way. I might have gone to Wilson, something might have ended up happening, which meant that I might not be studying medicine today. So I always think of it as, misdirection gives you a better place, a better position to be. So I went to Wellington, and I did a lot of extracurriculars there, debating, chess, I was doing some mentoring, and I was a prefect and things like that. And then I think the time came where I had to do my GCSEs, and I got 8 A stars and 2 A's, which meant that that was my first sort of area where I had sort of academic validation, which gave me the confidence that and inspired me that and told me that I could study medicine. I had the ability to study medicine, and it was really important for me, because if I didn't do well in them, I might have said to myself, um, oh, maybe medicine isn't for me. But it's really important that your grades don't define you or the path that you go on, but getting good grades will obviously help with sort of that encouragement and confidence that you gain. And then I went on to do my A levels, where I studied biology, chemistry, and maths, which is the classic combination that everyone does to study medicine. But obviously, not everyone has to do the three that like biology, chemistry, and maths. But that's the ones that I chose to do. And then after that, um, I realized in A levels I had some difficulty. I wasn't getting the grades that I wanted. It meant that what the learning tactics that I like sort of implemented during GCSEs weren't really seeing improvements in my grades. Therefore, I had to change my method of revision. I had to change things. I had to change my lifestyle. I had to change how I learn. And I was actually spending quite a bit of time staying back at school after school finished and speaking with teachers and asking them for help. I think it's a very sort of um, common thing that students don't want to sort of get help from teachers, or they feel that tuition's the only way to get help. But it's really important to understand that your school teachers are probably the one of the most important people who advocate for you and want you to do well. And they're always more than happy to help you. And I'd stay back for an hour, perhaps two, three times a week, and go through topics that I didn't understand, and I found it really helpful. And I think it's really important to make use of that resource where your teacher is available. And then after that, I did my mocks in the end of year 12, and I received my predicted grades, which were two A stars and an A. And I also sat the UCAT in the summer, where I received a sort of score of 2520, which was a good score and band one. And this sort of grade meant that I could apply to some medical schools across the country. After this, you have to get your personal statement written, and it's one of the sort of challenges that I face because my parents were obviously very keen and involved in my education. And I think at least 25 people must have read my personal statement and provided input and advice on how to change it. And I really appreciate that advice because the more eyes that see your writing, the piece that you've written, the better the input. And everyone has different opinions on what you've written. It's really good to hear what they think and understand. And also giving it to your teachers can also be helpful, like your biology teacher, math teacher, chemistry teacher, to sort of verify and fact check anything that you may have written which is scientific. In terms of work experience for medicine, it is probably one of the most crucial things to get into medicine. They don't more than grades, I'd say, because work experience shows that you've put in that commitment, you've put that dedication, and you have the motivation to study a course like medicine, which is 5 years, which is a very long time, obviously, and then a life full of sort of lifelong learning, continuous learning all the time. And therefore, I did a work experience for a course of 6 months in an elderly care home in Wimbledon. I was shadowing a GP for a course of 2 weeks in Tooting. I was doing some work experience in a pharmacy. I did some work experience in a solicitor firm. That was more so just to sort of see a different aspect of sort of profession. So I wanted to see how a solicitor runs, what their jobs involve, what it's like for them. And I also, through my dad, got a sort of work experience role in the Home Office. And then I was also a play tutor for autistic children on Saturdays, where you'd spend some time with autistic children, understanding how their sort of minds process things and being able to understand their viewpoint on how they take life, basically. Uh, After this, it was applying for universities where I faced my second failure, I'd say, in life, where I was rejected by Imperial and UCL, probably one of the best sort of universities in the world, which meant that I was obviously shattered. I didn't, as a 18-year-old, it wasn't the best thing to happen, but there's obviously improvements to be had, and misdirection is always, or redirection is always for the better, as I said earlier. And then I had offers from St. George's in East Anglia. East Anglia is quite far from London, where I am at the moment. So therefore, I decided to go to St. George's, which is only a 20-minute walk from me, which is ideal because I can, most of the time, my parents are happy to drop me off because I'm quite lazy. So my parents will drop me off, or I'd walk to St. George's, and it meant that I'm quite lucky now because I've just come back from Croydon placement and everything's really close to me, and it just makes everything a lot more easier. And therefore, and at the end, I got three A stars, which was more than my predicted grades, and I went to study medicine at St. George's. And the main reason, sort of, apart from the distance, I also chose St. George's for sort of family support because I'm quite a emotional person. I feel really connected to my family. I really value my family, and therefore, I think it's really important that for me, I have that sort of family support around me to help me, guide me, and keep me on track, essentially. And I love to spend some time messing around with my siblings, so I couldn't leave that. Um, and then in terms of sort of what happened next, getting into medicine was obviously a dream come true for me. It was ex sort of what I wanted to do after my parents wanted me to become a doctor since quite a young age. And I was really happy to be studying medicine, sort of living the dream that I'd been imagining as a 15-year-old doing GCSEs. And then um, the truth is that, I'd had a couple of failures, sort of Lem Plus being one, not getting into Imperial being the other, but there's every failure gives you another opportunity to grow and make yourself sort of, a better person, I'd like to think. And then in the future, I'd like to do something to do with sort of optal, which is the eyes, or psychiatry, purely because I've had those placements sort of last year, and I really enjoyed um, working with sort of in psychiatry patients to come to you in their most vulnerable position, and I think it's quite easy to dismiss them as sort of it's an issue that they need to fix themselves, or I think it's really sort of misunderstood the problem that people have with sort of psychiatric conditions. And I think I'd like to do something to do with either of those two, just because to educate people about them and help them understand what exactly is going on. And then yeah, so I'd like to educate patients and healthcare and sort of bridge gaps and misunderstandings in the community. And then finally, sort of the lessons that I've learned throughout my life, perspective is everything. So one person's failure is another person's success. So not everything that you come across or everything that you do is going to be the same for everyone. So me failing or not getting into Imperial but studying medicine at St. George's, many people would be hoping to study medicine, or they might have not even got medicine. So there are lots of one man's sort of treasure is so one man's rubbish is another man's treasure, something similar to that. Everything is perspective, so it really depends on how you view things, and it's always good to have a positive outlook and ensure that you're always improving yourself and taking everything and by your stride and going forward. And then not being afraid to adapt. When I had difficulties, sort of A levels in terms of studying, you have to change. There's always evolution. You have to be dynamic. And even on things like medicine placements and being a medic itself, everything is constantly changing. Our jobs, even in the future, are quite in a place of uncertainty. I think you study medicine, or your parents say, oh, become a doctor, you're going to have a job for the rest of your life. It was true 10, 20 years ago, but nowadays in the UK, there is a lot of uncertainty with training posts becoming, there's massive bottlenecks, and there's lots of changes happening. So it's really important that you're able to change yourself and evolve and be dynamic with it, and not being afraid to make those changes. And then finally, really important thing is to sort of prioritize support, ensuring that you feel comfortable talking with your family, and sort of have that moral support around you to help you with getting through and making you feel as comfortable as you can. And I believe that is the end. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take it. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you very much, Rishi, for your lovely talk. What a pleasant
That's all right.
young man you are. We have to give 30 seconds of appreciation by clapping our hands.
Thank you.
So, Rishi, you were born at St. George's, you were brought up near St. George's, and you had your education at St. George's.
Yeah.
Not many people get this opportunity, Rishi, I can tell you.
Yeah, it is very unlikely.
Yeah, it sounds like a short journey from home, from birth, from home, hop, step, and a jump to St. George's Hospital back again for your education. But I must say, you know what they say, failures are the pillars of success. There you are. You are a living proof. What more do we want? Well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now it's open to question and answers. Dr. Navaratnam has put his hand up. Dr. Navaratnam, you can speak.
Yeah, hello, Manakam. I hope Rishi can understand. Can you, Rishi?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Uncle.
Yeah, you can understand Tamil?
Yes, I can understand Tamil. Yes, yes.
Tamil children. Anyway, I can use some English words as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallel between you and me. I have been a doctor with MBBS for nearly 55 years now. And I did my medical education in Colombo and completed in 1964. And the parallel is that I also had failures. My O-level, I did very well, like you. I qualified for first time. I was top in the school of 240 children. But A-level, we had to do physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology those days, not maths. And out of that, we had to get full 4 A-grade passes. But I got only 3, and therefore asked to do biological degree. I declined. Worked very hard, did overtime studies, and I had very supportive teachers who spent their own time to help me to redo the exam study. And I also did one more subject called biochemistry, organic chemistry, which people do in university. But I did that and passed it in that exam. And I therefore bypassed at 1 year in university. Anyway, without going too long. So that was how failure and success worked. Then I had the same experience with my son here, born in this country, went into medicine. He had similar misses, and he had to do a degree in biological science. It's called biomedical science, and then did medicine after that. There again, failure, hard work, success. Now my son is a consultant in acute medicine in this country, done very well. And when you say about the future, when I came to UK, I came for postgraduate studies, and my success was all the postgraduate exams we passed with flying colors. A DCH within 6 months, MRCP within 2 years, and apparently I topped the list in the MRCP that year. And therefore, I had the luck or pleasure of getting good jobs, training jobs at Royal Free Medical School and University College Hospital. And when you say your ambition was your parents pushing, my parents were not that interested in what I did, apart from studying and getting a job. But I, at the age of 11, had a grand uncle who was a doctor, DMO in Jaffna Hospital. He was so smart and nice and well respected in the whole village that I thought I should become a doctor when I saw him. It was too far from getting near the medical school, but I worked towards it. And I studied very hard, school, topping every class. And therefore, eventually, I achieved entry to medicine. So I'm so glad, Rishi, you have done very well and you have achieved so far. And I think I chose medicine to specialize in, and then branched into rheumatology. At the time, rheumatology was in great need. It was quicker to get consultant posts. I became a consultant at the age of 34, when United Kingdom English graduates have to wait till they are 38 or 40. So that is how life was. So thank you very much for this particular speech. And not many of the people here are doctors, but it's an eye-opener to show how perseverance, hard work, and dedication helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Navaratnam, for sharing your journey with us. And, you know, my father always said, if you try and again, don't accept failure. Once you fail, you try again until you succeed. So I think most of us have done the same here. That's nice to know. The next person is Gauri Raj.
I think she's not there. You can ask Dr.
Oh, Dr. Saras Valoganathan Amma, ninga vaango.
Thank you, Rishi, for sharing your experience. Because I also have had long-standing relationship with St. George's Hospital. But I was a medic in Sri Lanka, as Dr. Navaratnam said. But by time there was the second medical school in Kandy, so I went to Peradeniya Medical Faculty. My years were 62 to 67. But I was lucky. My teachers actually guided me, I must say. When I did my O-levels, I had the necessary credits, so I went on to do A-levels in a good school, and I entered medicine first time. And it was straightforward for me. But after qualifying there, we had to work for 7 years. So I came here 7 years later with the 2 children and my husband. And I then started training myself doing psychiatry for the first time in this country, which I enjoyed very much. And in fact, I started my MRC Psych course at St. George's Hospital. Then I became a trainee in all day psychiatry, part-time there and part-time at Westminster, following which I became a consultant in psychiatry of old age, which I enjoyed really very much. Ophthalmology was also for my concentration, but I think I've done the right thing. My daughter was a medical student at St. George's as well. She qualified in 1984. It's a good medical school. It's a great institution, and you are fortunate to be there anyway. Now I am a patient at the ophthalmology unit, of course, attending the eye clinic. So you must be enjoying the expertise of that clinic. That's why you may be wanting to do ophthalmology. Anyway, thank you for sharing your experience. And medicine is a great vocation. If you really wanted to make it a success, you have to work very hard and learn all the time, continuously, to become very successful in your practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Siva Loganathan. Next is Shanti Parameswaran. Dr. Shanti Parameswaran. There are a lot of doctors here. Vaidya Kalanidiyal Koodi Pochinga. Anyway.
I think வைத்திய கலாநிதிகள் என்றால் இவர் வைத்திய கலாநிதியா வாரார் என்று நாங்கள் அதுதான் கணக்க பேர் இங்க வந்து கதைக்கினோம். Anyway, I'll talk in English for you, Rishi. I think there are many doctors here who want to share that experience, but I'm going to come from a different perspective, which is I'm so glad that you accepted your parental wishes and wanted to be a role model for your family, and you took it on to do medicine. And that is a great thing that you did, a sacrifice, I would say. For me, I come from a different thing. My elder sister refused to do medicine. My brother wanted to do medicine, but he rebelled and left home. So being the third, my father, who wanted to be a doctor, couldn't be a doctor, pushed me to do medicine. What do you think of that? I didn't want to do medicine. I cried and cried and said, I don't want to do medicine. Appa, I can't dissect a human body. I will do chemistry like you and become a chemical analyst. No, 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 no. He filled in the ACA form. First, he said, medicine. Second, you can do your graduation in medicine. For my bad luck, I got the grades and entered to do medicine. I still cried and cried and cried. For the 5 years I did medicine at Colombo faculty. I wasn't happy at all, but somehow I passed everything. And when I was doing, being a medical doctor there, I always was interested in psychiatry and psychology. I used to read Psychology Digest and so on. But there was a vacancy and I had to go and do a stint in the psychiatric unit in Kandy. They asked me to do for 3 months because the doctor had left. I went. I enjoyed so much. There was Professor Rodrigo from the Kandy faculty who was running the thing. I really loved it so much. When I came back, I told my mom, I'm going to do psychiatry. And what did my mother say? You are not married. You understand him. You will become mad. Look at that psychiatrist. They are all mad. You will be one of them. Please, please don't do psychiatry. So I took her advice, got married, came to England, and then with my husband first went to States. And then he did ENT. And I said, I want to do psychiatry. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. And that is where I started my first residential psychiatry there. And I have never looked back. So I'm one of those people who did psychiatry because it was prohibited for me. And I enjoyed it. And I came back here and I started my UK training. Where do you think? At St. George's.
St. George's.
I started here at St. George's, did the training, became a senior registrar and then a consultant and so on. So you have a very good future if you take that on. And if you like psychology, psychiatry, please do psychiatry because we are still very, very short of psychiatrists. Even now I'm retired, they keep asking me to come to do work because they're short of psychiatrists. And particularly my specialty later was in child and adolescent psychiatry. You would know that is a very, very short of doctors in that field. So having said that, from a different perspective, how we all enter into do medicine. So I want a question from you, ask a question. I've been a SSC teacher for 20 years or more at Merton Science Center. Tell me how SSC teaching has helped you in your career. Because my daughter wouldn't do medicine. My son wouldn't do medicine. They chose to do what they wanted to do. So, but I'm glad that you chose to do what your parents wanted to do. And you have learned that challenges are to be taken on board and failures are the pillars of success. Tell me how SSC has helped you in this process.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Paris, and firstly, Auntie, it was I really enjoyed your insight into that, and I think I still tell my mum and dad I'm only doing medicine for you, and I always complain at them every day without failure. Every day I come back from my place and I say, oh, look what you've made me do, dealing with blood and urine and poo and everything like that, and I always complain to them. But on the question of sort of SSE, Yeah, I was at Merton SSE since I was a 5-year-old. I think I've been there for a very long time. I was, you might know Yogesh uncle,
Yeah.
Dina auntie, and sort of Sugi auntie.
Harriet
Lot of
auntie.
yeah, everyone there. I think like everyone, no one wants to go there as a 5-year-old kid. But as I went through the program, I really learned about sort of Swami's teachings. You know, it's not just about Hinduism. It's you learn every sort of religion, every faith, and I think that's definitely molded me into the person I am. I even to this day, I might just be sitting on a chair and I'll just start saying a Buddhist chant or like any chant or like anything that I remember from the days that I did sort of in SSE, and I think it's actually really very useful SSE. Even my brother, who finished sort of 3-4 years ago now, has gone back to now teach on Sundays and help on Sundays. Even I haven't done that, so I'm really proud of him for doing that. So I think SSE is a really useful program, and I feel very passionate about it as well. And I think it's definitely a very good way to build your character and develop.
What does SSE mean?
I can see that in
Sci-
you. Thank you very much. And I think it does build your character and that you're able to accept everyone, love all, serve all. And that is a big thing that you have to do when you're a doctor, to do that,
Thank
to
you.
love all, serve all, whatever religion, whatever background they come from. And I wish you the best in your future. Thank you, Rishi, for coming and
Thank you very
sharing your
much. Thank
thoughts
you.
with us.
And
Thank
to
you.
answer Dr. Navaratnam Uncle's question, I think so SSE stands for Sai Spiritual Education Uncle.
Okay.
It's you might know Sai Baba.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so his sort of teachings and things like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, rebellious Shanti Parameshwaran. Anandi Baladasan next, please.
Yeah, greetings to all. I don't want to call Rishi as Ayya. Ayya means
Thambi.
no, I will call him like Rishi Appan. Appan, I always call my son Appan and all my nephews like Appan. Okay, I'll call you Appan. Okay, it's great hearing your experiences in my medical field. Even though you pushed into medical field according to your parents' wishes, you are really enjoying and I can see from your experiences. Yeah, I can tell only good luck for your future endeavors, and you can come back after 3 or 4 years as either a psychiatrist or ophthalmologist and give us a great speech. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Anandi
thank you.
Master. Sugendra Dharmakumar Master.
Greetings to everyone. I also finding difficult to say Ayya. Rishi, I really enjoyed your talk, and you were going through your education from childhood. And I always think my kids, I never influenced them. I just told them, you have to get a degree. That is more important. So I never influenced my children, but my son started writing programs from 4-year-old. Those days it's basic program. He used to do it because I had a BBC computer at home. And from that day onward, he wanted to do IT. So he all his dream, everything is IT. And and he is very sportive when he was young, so he wanted to go to Loughborough University. So I told him, Loughborough is for sports, not for IT. But he insists that he will go to Loughborough, and he entered Loughborough, and he did first class in IT. He passed out, and then he wanted to go to banking. And he was at home for 6 months until he get a job vacancy in banking. So he went to Credit Suisse and he worked there for 4 years, and then after that, Goldman Sachs headhunted him. So he is working in Goldman Sachs since then. So usually it's better to ask, to leave the kids what they like. That's what I always say. But at the same time, not all the children wanted to do, they can't decide. So the parents have to tell them what to do. This happened in my family as well. My daughter didn't know what to do until A level, so we have to influence her what she is good at. So this is what I think. As a parent, I think I have done the correct thing. So it's up to each and every parents what they want their children to come, And thank you very much. I really appreciate your talk, and I congratulate, and I hope you will become a good doctor, excellent doctor soon. Thank you. And,
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sujata
Thank you.
Master.
Chat box, please.
And
Chat box.
I'll read the chat. The chat box. We are dedicated to promote world peace and harmony through daily meditation, accompanied by educational talks. In addition, we offer free yoga session, including chair exercises. Session time daily, UK time morning 8:45 a.m., 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. The people in other countries, please join us according to UK time. We warmly invite you all to join us. Now I am reading the chat box. Tara Nathan, UK. Congratulations, Rishi. Excellent talk. And wish you all the best, very best. Kala Mahalingam, Canada. Thanks, speech very excellent. Congratulations, Master. Come again. Padma Kulendran, மென்மேலும் வளர்ந்து முன்னேற வாழ்த்துக்கள். உங்கள் பாதையை நல்ல வழியில் கொண்டு சென்ற பெற்றோருக்கும் உங்களுக்கும் இறைவன் அருள் புரிய வாழ்த்துகிறேன். உங்கள் சேவை தொடரட்டும். Well done. Congratulations, Rishi. மற்றது பத்மா குலேந்திரன் தான் திரும்ப போட்டிருக்கிறார். Great to hear Dr. Shanti experience and about SSE. Thanks, Dr. Shanti. My brother-in-law has 4 children. He forced them to do medicine. They did, and now they are consultants, surgeon, but 2 of them actually want to do IT or engineering. Padma Kulendran. இத்துடன் the chat box முடிவடைகிறது. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Sri ஐயா கதைக்க போறீங்களா?
Vanakkam, greetings to all. Thank you, Rishi, for your very informative speech about your medical journey. We learned a lot we learned a great deal from you talk. I think, please feel free to contact me whenever you would like to speak with us again. Please contact me again. And also, where is your parents? I'm looking for them. It's not, they are missing. They didn't come today.
I think Appa's at work right now, and Amma's doing Saraswati pools. It's getting a bit late, so I think she might have started. So
They're
normally
missing,
we do it at 6 o'clock. But
they're missing a lot, you know that they are missing a lot. You see, a lot of people are talking about you. They are not here. Anyway, you can show the video, and I'll send it to you
Okay.
later.
Thank you.
I'll send it to you. Thank
Thank
you
you very
also.
much, Uncle.
Please allow Kumar Sami Pilla Master also to comment about it after Gauri Raj Amma.
Okay. I think Rishi's Amma must be.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். தம்பிக்கு தமிழ் புரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். புரியுமா ஐயா?
பேசுங்க,
எனக்கு
பேசுங்க.
விளங்கும், எனக்கு விளங்கும்.
இது
Yes, yes.
பேச உங்களுடைய அந்த அனுபவங்கள் எங்களுக்கு மிகவும் மிக நன்றாக பிடித்து கொண்டது. நீங்கள் மிக நன்றாக பேசினீர்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை மேலும் மேலும் முன்னேற எல்லா வாழ்த்துக்களும் உங்களுக்கு வழங்குகிறோம். அதோடு பால விகாஸ் மாணவராக இருந்து நீங்கள் எப்படி வெற்றி பெறாமல் போவீர்கள்? நீங்கள் சின்ன வயதில் பால விகாஸ் மாணவராக இருந்திருக்கிறீர்கள் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது, அப்படி நீங்கள் இருந்தீர்கள் என்றாலே சுவாமி சொல்கிறார், எதிர்காலத்தில் பால விகாஸ் மாணவர்கள் தான் இந்த உலகத்தையே ஆளப்போகிறார்கள் என்று. அப்படி இருக்கும் பொழுது நீங்கள் பால விகாஸில் படித்தவர்கள் எப்படி வெற்றியடையாமல் இருப்பீர்கள்? எல்லா வெற்றிகளும் உங்களை வந்து சேர வாழ்த்தி உங்கள் அனுபவங்களுக்கு எங்கள் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி ஐயா.
நன்றி ஆண்டி. Thank
ரிஷி.
you, thank you.
Dr. Jagannathan next.
Thank you. Greetings to everyone. Rishi, your journey to medicine was rather interesting to hear. In UK, I'm aware that you have to, excel in many spheres, not only in studies, but sports and other things as well. In Sri Lanka, they only want you to be a bookworm. And only requirement is cramming. You don't need to show anything else. So I also was astonished that not only we heard about your journey, even though my astrologer, we all have family astrologers, you see. Family astrologer said, oh, you were going to be a doctor. I wasn't studying textbooks. I was studying magazines. See, he thought I was busy studying hard. People know about, in Tamil, I say, that was the books I was reading. So I must say I wasn't confident. And also I had two uncles who was to stay at my place. And when I see the books they were carrying, the volumes, I thought, oh no, this is beyond my task. My parents had never pushed me to do. My father thought I should be an accountant because I was rather methodical and obsessional. So I thought, and I was good at dissection, so I wasn't scared of blood. Actually, my dissection was so good, I thought if I do botany and zoology, I'll become a teacher, and teaching also I like it. I liked it as a way of educating others. And then my first attempt, I only got 2 passes. And if I had 3 passes, I would have got bioscience, and I would have accepted it. So on my second attempt, I got better results. And I thought, if I reject medicine and do bioscience, they think I'm nutty, isn't it? And by then I thought, look, a lot of mediocre students have passed and got through. In Sri Lanka, there are chaps who have done 10 years in medical school rather than they enter us for 5 years. I heard about people who have spent 7-8 years. So I thought, oh, right, I better try. So I managed to finish in the 5 years curriculum. So, but I must say, I was really, I wouldn't say struggle, but I have to put 110%. So I think I got through because of especially anatomy, a lot of diagrams. I was good at drawing as well. So there, somehow I managed to get through. And then here, when I came to UK, my field to do medicine and rheumatology was difficult. So I thought psychiatry was something. Of course, in psychiatry lectures we used to sleep because there's no psychiatry questions in the final exam. So we didn't bother. So we used to sleep in the lecture hall, and the teacher was also boring. So I thought only way to know about is to do, and then I continued in the psychiatry. In Sri Lanka, there is a stigma, as it was pointed out by Dr. Shanti. They say if you become a psychiatrist, you will go crazy. But I must say it gives me more immunity. Not that I shouldn't say just because I was a psychiatrist, I will never experience. That is wrong. But in some way, you understood it. This is one of the things I used to tell doctors: forget about earning, forget about fame, because as a doctor, you know when you're ill what's going on. Whereas if you're not if you're a non-medical person, you have to rely on other people's interpretation. So here on first hand, I must say this because lately I had problems with glaucoma. You won't believe, to get the true picture of what is glaucoma, not about diagnosis, in management, and I had some complication. I have to discuss with several people, eventually search the Google, doctor and then eventually see somebody privately. And I thought I was able to do all that because when you do a Google search, sometimes, you get carried away. So I was very glad at the end. One last thing I must say, whatever the astrologer predicted, I believe to a degree, because I work hard, and also I strive for perfection. I'm an obsessional by nature. I've said this number of times. I'm going to repeat it. COP is the key. C stands for confident. I wasn't very confident to do medicine. Not that I was scared, as I said, and I wasn't passionate either. I had no pressure, but I had this O. So if you take any profession, if you have all three, you will excel. But if you have two, it's better. But if you must have at least one, if you don't have neither of the three, you are going to be a complete failure, or you'll just do it for the sake of other people and you'll never enjoy it. So these COP, but what happens is people, you will understand it better than the rest of it. Not that I'm underestimating, cop out. Everybody cop out. They say, oh, this is in my destiny, this is my karma. This is copping out. Please, everybody, you can ignore my advice, but I'm sure Rishi will understand. So never cop out. If you have all the three, you will excel. But even if you have two or one, you will somehow manage. So that is the advice I've been selling. But everybody is carried away with, these were ancient wisdom, but we are in modern, and spirituality is about finding the truth. In fact, every time I was looking for the reality, or in terms of issues with glaucoma, I was getting more and more clarity. That is spirituality in a way. So, in a way, I sometimes say science is another way of spiritualism to try and advance your understanding and clarity. And I don't want to take all the time, but thank you for your presentation, because I don't know how the training, because I did qualify in Sri Lanka, so it's entirely different. But anyway, nice to hear your experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Baradama is waiting.
Yeah.
Kumar, sorry.
Baradama.
Oh, vanakkam. Rishi, vanakkam. You have done a good job. And you have clearly presented how your journey started and is going to end. You will be a success. I wish you well. And at the same time, I would like to tell you, it was not only your parents. I was living in England for 20 years, and I know in my family, every parent, maybe including me, wanted at least one doctor in the family. I would tell you now, so many of my cousins, their children, one has 3 kids, all 3 doctors. Another has 2 kids, all 3 doctors. I can name it. In my family itself, I can count more than 25. Youngsters, they are finished. They are in the medical school. And I wish you well once again. Come again after some time to talk about your studies and how you are finishing your study. Thank you, Rishi.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you.
Thank you, Varadama. Kumarasamy Master, நீங்க வந்து translation சொல்லுங்க.
Greetings to everybody. First, I would say something about Rishi. Rishi, thank you for sharing your wonderful experiences. Actually, which is very empowering, I would say, because I wish some younger generation is here to listen to that. The one very good thing I love is you really listen to your parents. Nowadays, generally, children do not listen to their parents. So you are a good son. So I congratulate you on that aspect. I like it. And another important thing is in the University of Life, we have learned so many valuable lessons. One is resilience, which is really absolutely necessary for a doctor. Because, as a doctor, you might encounter so many challenges. So you are ready, you are clearly defined your purpose, and you would like to contribute to the community. Actually, we need help from doctors. Then another thing is actually you are realize at this age money doesn't bring happiness. That's a very important thing. I appreciate it because people chase money and finally they lose their life. The happiness doesn't come from money. It comes by serving the people. So you have chosen a good career, and I know the society will definitely benefit because your intentions are genuine and you are dedicated to the profession. So that's the important thing. Actually, when you dedicate to the society, and another important thing is now you must start love your profession. Is always so. I thank you for your really enlightening contribution. Now, can I go with the translation or anyone to speak?
Yes,
I
please,
think
you can go for translation, please.
translation, yeah.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்று ரிஷி ரசாவநாதன் அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய மருத்துவக் கல்லூரி அனுபவத்தை பற்றி எங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொண்டார். என்னுடைய நோக்கம், கண்ணோட்டம், முன்னேற்றம் என்ற தலைப்பின் கீழ் நான் சில கருத்துக்களை உங்களுக்கு பகிர்ந்து கொள்கின்றேன். இதற்காக நான் இந்த மருத்துவத்துறையை தெரிவு செய்தேன் என்றால் முதலாவதாக என்னுடைய பெற்றோருடைய ஆசை அதுவாக இருந்தது. அடுத்தது நான் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையிலே முதலாவது சென்றிருந்தனால் ஒரு முன் உதாரணமாக இருக்க விரும்பினேன். அதனால் தான் இது எடுத்தேன். ஆனால் நான் உணர்ந்து கொண்டேன், மகிழ்ச்சி என்பது பணத்தால் வருவதில்லை என்பதை நான் உணர்ந்து கொண்டேன். மற்ற இன்னொரு குறிக்கோள் என்ன மாதிரி என்றால் மற்ற மக்களுடன் நான் தொடர்பு கொண்டு அவர்களுக்கு என்னால் என்ற உதவியை செய்ய வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு நோக்கம் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் இருந்தது. மற்றது நான் இளமையாக இருக்கும் பொழுது என்னுடைய பெற்றோருடைய ஊக்கத்தால் பலவிதமான செயல்பாடுகள் ஈடுபட்டிருந்தேன். இது எனக்கு ஒரு வாழ்க்கையிலே முன்னேற்றத்துக்கு வழி தந்தது. மற்ற இன்னொரு முக்கியமான வாழ்க்கையை நான் கேட்டேன்னா மீள்தன்மை. எத்தனையோ விதமான சவால்கள் எல்லாம் வந்தது. அவற்றையெல்லாம் சந்தித்து மீண்டு எழும்பதற்கு ஆற்றலை பெற்றேன். முதலாக வில்சனை 3 மாதத்தால் வந்தேன். இப்படியான தோல்விகள் ஏற்படும் பொழுது என்னுடைய குறைகளை உணர்ந்து எனது பாதையை மாற்றிக்கொண்டேன். அதனால் தான் நன்றி இருக்கின்றேன். மற்றது நான் இப்பொழுதும் மற்றவர்களுடைய ஒப்புதலுக்காக நான் செய்ய ஏற்படவில்லை. என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையை நானே அமைத்துக் கொண்டேன். மற்றது நாங்கள் தேர்வுகளிலே படித்து வெற்றி பெறும் பொழுது எங்களுக்கு அது தன்னம்பிக்கை கொடுக்கின்றது. எந்த விதமான சூழ்நிலையிலையும் அதை கொண்டு அதுக்கு வாழ்க்கையை மாற்றி அமைக்க வேண்டியது முக்கியமாக இருக்கிறது. நான் A-லெவலில் நல்ல புள்ளிய பெற்றேன். வாழ்க்கையில் நிச்சயமான தீர்வுகளை சந்திக்க வேண்டி இருக்கின்றது. மற்றது வாழ்க்கை என்றால் எளிதாக இல்லை. எத்தனையோ சவால்கள் சந்திப்பது தடைகள் எனும் அவற்றை ஒவ்வொரு முறையும் சந்தித்து முன்னேறுவதுதான் வெற்றி என்பதை நான் உணர்ந்து கொண்டேன். செஞ்சோச்சி எதிராக நான் ஒரு உணர்ச்சி பூர்வமான ஒரு மனிதன் என்பதை கூற வருகின்றேன். நான் என்னுடைய மருத்துவக் கல்லூரி நான் இடம் பெற்ற பொழுது என்னுடைய கனவு நனவானதை விட்டு நான் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைந்தேன். அப்பொழுது எப்பொழுதும் தோல்வியல் எங்களை மனத்தை வலிமைப்படுத்தி கொண்டே இருக்கின்றது. என்னுடைய எதிர்கால நோக்கம் ஒரு கண் மருத்துவராக வருவதையாகும். அதை நோக்கி நான் இப்பொழுது பயணம் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். இப்படியான நேரங்களில் நான் சில நேரம் ஏற்கனவே கூறின போல என்னுடைய பெற்றோருடைய ஆதரவு, என்னுடைய ஆசிரியருடைய ஆதரவு, மற்ற நல்லவருடைய ஆசி இவற்றின் மூலமாக நான் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் என்னுடைய நோக்கத்தையும் என்னுடைய ஆசைகளையும் நிறைவேற்றும் பாதையில் சென்று கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன் என்று கூறி என்னுடைய உரையை முடிக்கின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
இனிமையான டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன். நாங்கள் அவருக்கும் ஒரு கைதட்டுவோம். பிள்ளை மாஸ்டருக்கும் தயவு செய்து.
டாக்டர் நவரத்னா, நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ண இல்ல. அன்மியூட் பண்ண.
அளித்ததுக்கு நன்றி. தேங்க்யூ. நான் திரும்பி வந்தது காரணம், நாம் எமது வாழ்க்கையில் ஒரு குறிக்கோள் இருந்தால் அதை நோக்கி பயணிக்க வேண்டும். அது ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம். அதோட டெடிகேஷன், முழு அர்ப்பணிப்போடு வேலை செய்வோம். என்ன செய்தாலும், தோட்டம் செய்தா என்ன, படிப்பிச்சா என்ன, படித்தா என்ன, அர்ப்பணிப்போடு முழு மனதோடு செய்யவன். அது நீங்கள் ரிஷி செய்திருப்பார் நினைக்கிறேன். அதை விட பிளெஸிங், எனது 11வது வயதில் சிவ சுவாமிகள் தலையில கை வைத்து வாழ்ப்பணம் தந்து என்னை ஆசீர்வதித்தார். அதுதானோ தெரியாது, நான் படித்த பொழுது பாடசாலையில் திறமை இருந்தேன். என்ன சோதனை எடுத்தாலும் திறமை. MBBS சோதனையில் ஐ டாப் த லிஸ்ட் இன் ஸ்ரீலங்கா, கொலம்பு 1964. எடுத்து பார்க்கலாம். இடையில சோதனைகளில் அப்படித்தான். படிப்பில் கண்டும் கருத்துமா இருந்தேன். விளையாட்டுகள் இருக்கும், இளம் வயது சில விளையாட்டுகள் செய்தாலும் படிப்பில் கண்ணுங்கன்னு தான் வந்தோம். அந்த டெடிகேஷன் முக்கியம். அதை விட இந்த சைக்கியாட்ரி என்ற விஷயம் இலங்கையில் கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமானது. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச 3 சைக்கியாட்ரிஸ்ட் தங்களை தற்கொலை செய்து கொண்டார்கள். எனக்கு நல்லா தெரிஞ்ச அருளம்பலம் நல்ல சைக்கியாட்ரிஸ்ட்.
He didn't commit suicide.
I know that. But I was there.
No.
Maybe you may be right.
No,
but
he died of brain hemorrhage.
Anyway, that's what I heard. But psychiatrists will not accept that in Sri Lanka, psychiatry is difficult because they don't have support. Here you have got psychiatric nurses, psychiatric social workers who help a lot. In Sri Lanka, the doctor has to see them, talk to them, and the medication was also not very good those days, talking about the 60s. That is one reason why psychiatrists were not successful, had difficulties. And therefore, in UK, psychiatrists are not put under that pressure. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Navaratnam. Vignesh, Mr. Vignesh, thank you.
Well presentation, Rishi, well done. And you have actually been very honest with your personal statement and about your journey, and also you were accepting failures and success in medicine. It happens that way. One of the question is, not the question, is information, is that when you write your personal statement, if you write that my parents wanted me to be a doctor, that will be the first failure, especially being an Asian student, because most of the Asian students, their parents push them to do medicine. Immediately in some of the medical school, you have to undergo an interview. In the interview, they will ask you, why do you want to be a doctor? And then in the personal statement, you have all the credentials because you have done your work placement and you have proved that you really wanted to be a doctor. And also you wanted to show that you have communication skills, that Balvika classes would have really helped you to do that. So most of the contributors said that my parents wanted to be a doctor. And if you have stated in your personal statement or in the interview, immediate failure, immediate reaction. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think it's okay.
Vignesh, I think you're spot on. I think even our teachers, like they said, if your reason to study medicine is parents, don't ever do it. Do not do it. Do not. So I think everyone in the UK anyway is told not to write that. So I didn't write that anyway, but I did say that I wanted to do it because of my passion for medicine and curiosity for learning, which was my second reason. But yeah, if you put in your personal statement or say in your interview at any point, I'm doing it because my parents told me to do it, yeah, like you said, I think it will be an automatic rejection. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to the grandparents and parents that
Of
when
course,
you
yes,
tell the
yes.
children, do medicine. And also, you know that there are some students come to the medical school and after first and second year, they drop out of the course. And some of the students are immature when they are in A-levels, they didn't know what to do, but they have all the ability to do that. So sometimes they want to go into medicine at the later stage after finishing a degree. Thank you.
Sugendra Master.
நான் chat boxல ஒரு question இருக்கு. சுதா மதி அம்மா கேட்டிருக்கிறா. What is stands for COPS டாக்டர்? நான் நினைக்கிறேன் டாக்டர் ஜெகநாதன்ட்ட தான் கேட்டிருக்கிறா அதை.
COP. COP.
What was the question? What was the question?
COP.
What is stands for COP?
No, COP is confidence, is an abbreviation. Confidence, obsession, and being passionate. Dedication is also right, but if you're obsessional, you are dedicated. So Iskandar Raja Ayya is a good typical example. I'm sure he's obsessional as well. He's dedicated, isn't it? So that is the thing. That is my answer. Other thing, I put my hand up. Anything else in the chat box?
அது மட்டும்தான்.
No.
I just thought of some clarity. It is true. See, statistics show doctors are at a slightly higher rate of suicide because they know how to commit it, and probably they know about illnesses as well. So you can say it's occupational hazard.
Yeah, it is true.
And also they say that certain personalities are drawn into psychiatry, but I'm not sure. Sorry, into medicine, they say. I'm not sure about that because a lot of people are doing it because of parental pressure. One of my relatives said she's also just qualified. Her batchmate told him, "Oh, I want to do medicine because I meet high IQ people and I can get a good match." There you are. So there are several reasons. Anyway, the thing here is, I'm not sure. And also, psychiatry may be drawing a certain personality. So that is, I strongly believe in that. Certain personalities may be drawn to do psychiatry. But I thought that was a job for survival, and job opportunities came up. But whatever I do, even if I ran a shop, I'm sure I would have done very well. That's my nature. So I'm forget about astrology, forget about thing. This is what I my own experience, and I've seen it in my rest of the family as well. There you are. Thank you.
Dr. Jagannathan, நீங்கள் ஒரு நகைச்சுவை மன்றம் இங்க வைக்கணும் அடுத்த முறை.
I used to tell this joke. I say, look, all the patients got around me and said, "You doctor, you are better doctor than the previous doctor because you are like one of us." It's only a joke. It wasn't a true story. So the patient are like one of us.
சாந்தி டாக்டர் சைக்காட்ரிஸ்ட், நீங்க எவருக்கு கொஞ்சம் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் கொடுங்க.
நன்றி ராதையம்மா. நேரம் நெருங்கி போய் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. நன்றி ராதையம்மா. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். வணக்கம் மகன் ரிஷி, ரசவதனன். வணக்கம் ஐயா. நல்ல அருமையான பேச்சு. வளர்ந்து வருகின்ற இளம் பிள்ளை நீங்கள். இன்னும் எவ்வளவோ தூரம் நீங்கள் வளர வேண்டியவரால். இது ஒரு சாதாரணமான ஒரு சிறிய கடவை என நான் நினைக்கின்றேன். உங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையில எத்தனையோ படிகள் இன்னும் இருக்கின்றன. நீங்கள் ஒரு திறமையான ஒரு வைத்தியராக இந்த நாட்டிலே நீங்கள் திகழ வேண்டும் என்பது என்னுடைய ஆசீர்வாதம் உங்களுக்கு. அப்படி நீங்க வர வேண்டும் ஐயா. உங்களை பார்த்தாலே அந்த வணக்கத்தை அவர்கள் உங்களுக்கு தந்து சேவை செய்யக்கூடிய மாதிரி நீங்க இருக்கணும். உங்களுடைய நோக்கம் சேவையாக இருக்க வேண்டும். வேற எந்த ஒரு செயலையும் நாங்கள் கூடுதலாக எங்களுடைய செயற்பாட்டை செய்யாமல், நான் என்னத்துக்காக வந்தேன், எதை நான் ஏற்றுக்கொண்டேன், அந்த ஏற்றுக்கொண்ட பணியை நான் எப்போது செய்ய வேண்டும், எவ்வாறு செய்ய வேண்டும், யாருக்கெல்லாம் செய்ய வேண்டும், யாருக்கெல்லாம். இது ஒரு வைத்தியத்துறை என்பது சாதாரணமா சொல்லுவார்கள், கடவுளும் வைத்தியரும் ஒன்று என்று சொல்லுவார்கள் எங்களுடைய தமிழ் மக்களை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும். ஆகவே நீங்கள் கண்ணும் கருத்துமாக இந்த சேவையை எவருக்கெல்லாம் கொடுக்க முடியுமோ, உங்களால முடிந்த அளவுக்கு எவ்வளவு உயிர்களிடம் அன்பாக இருந்து அதை நீங்கள் கொடுக்க முடியுமோ அதை கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன் ஐயா. ஏனென்று சொன்னால் இது முக்கியமான ஒரு பணி. இந்த பணியிலே நீங்கள் பிசகாது இருக்க வேண்டும், விலத்தக்கூடாது. அந்த செயற்பாட்டிலே நீங்கள் ஒரு தூய்மையை கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டும். என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் தூய்மை, அதோட ஒரு டிசிப்ளின், ஒரு ஒழுக்கம் எல்லாமே அங்கே இருக்க வேண்டும். உங்களை அவையெல்லாம் கொண்டு போய் ஒரு 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 உச்சாணி கொப்பில உங்களை வைப்பார்கள். ஏனென்று சொன்னால் அதுக்கு மரியாதை இருக்கின்றது. அண்மையிலே நான் இலங்கையிலே 2 வைத்தியர்களுடைய மறைவின் போது அந்த விடயங்களை நான் ஆயிரக்கணக்கிலே அறிந்து கொள்ளக்கூடியதாக இருந்தது. அவ்வளவு திறமசாலிகள் இருவர், யாழ்ப்பாணத்தில் ஒருவரும் மட்டக்களப்பில் ஒருவருமாக எம்மை விட்டு நீங்கி விட்டார்கள். இருந்தாலும் அவர்களுடைய செயற்பாடு இன்று வரைக்கும் பேசப்படக்கூடியதாக இருக்கின்றது. அப்படிப்பட்ட நல்ல செயற்பாட்டுக்குரிய நல்ல கைங்கரியங்களுக்குரிய சேவைகளை நீங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டு வாழ்த்தி உங்களை விடைபெறுகிறேன். மீண்டும் வந்து உங்களுடைய எல்லா விஷயங்களையும் நீங்க கொடுங்க ஐயா. நல்லா இருந்தது. உங்களுடைய சிறு வயதுல இருந்து உங்களுக்கு எவ்வாறு உங்களை பெற்றோர்கள் வளர்த்து இவ்வாறு உங்களை அனுப்பி விட்டார்கள் இந்த பாடத்துறைக்கு என்பதை நீங்கள் அழகாக சொல்லியிருந்தீர்கள். உங்களுக்கு நல்ல பேச்சாற்றலும் இருக்கின்றது. சந்தர்ப்பம் வரும்போது நீங்கள் அந்த பேச்சாற்றலை வளர்த்து கொள்ள வேண்டுகின்றேன். நன்றி.
மன்னிக்க வேணும், நேரம் 9:38.
ரெக்கார்டிங்கும் பாய்ஞ்சி போய் கொண்டிருக்கின்றது, பாய்கிறது ரெக்கார்டிங்.
அடுத்ததாக பஞ்சாட்சரம் மாஸ்டர் வாங்க.
எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். நேரம் கருதி நான் சுருக்கமாக கூறுகின்றேன். ரிஷி ஐயா அவர்கள் அருமையாக தம்பி, அருமையாக நீங்கள் பேசியிருந்தீர்கள். உங்களோட வாழ்க்கையை பற்றி, உங்களோட இதே மாதிரி அதோட ஹாப்பியாகவும் சந்தோஷமாகவும் பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறீர்கள். இதே மாதிரி நீங்கள் வேலை செய்யும் பொழுதும் சந்தோஷமாகவும் ஹாப்பியாகவும் நோக்கத்தோடும் வேலை செய்வீர்கள் என்று வாழ்த்தி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
நன்றி பஞ்சாட்சரம் மாஸ்டர். திரும்பவும் டாக்டர் நவரத்னம் வந்திருக்கார். டாக்டர் நவரத்னம் பண்றேன் இப்ப.
நன்றி, தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். அருமையாக நடந்த வெரி குட் ஸ்பீச் ரிஷி. சுரமான பேச்சாளர், வெரி குட் ஸ்பீக்கர். உங்களோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸை இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. எனி நேஷனாலிட்டி, எந்த லாங்குவேஜ் பேசுகிறேன்றாலும் பரவாயில்ல, இந்த தளத்துக்கு இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். உங்களோட சொந்தக்காரங்களோ ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸையும் காண இல்லை நான் பார்த்தேன். ஏன் அப்படி வராமல் விட்டேன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. அடுத்த முறை வரைக்கும் எல்லாரையும் கூட்டிக் கொண்டு வர வேணும். அவையெல்லாம் படிக்கணும். நீங்கள் என்ன படிச்சீங்க? இன்றைக்கு வந்து இந்த மெடிடேஷனே படிச்சிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். தட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அதுக்கு தான் இந்த ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் எல்லாரும் வந்து பேசுறது. சரியா? இந்த மெடிடேஷனை நாங்கள் உலக அமைதிக்கும் தனி மனித அமைதிக்குமாகத்தான் படிப்பிக்கிறோம். அதுக்கு தான் ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் வந்து செகண்டரி. முதல் வந்து மெடிடேஷன். Anyway, thank you very much. See you soon. என்ன ரொம்ப வேறுங்க, please. Thank you very much.
All the best, Rishi, for a bright future. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Regards to your parents. Parents அப்படி கேட்டதா?
Yeah. Congratulations to the parents.
Thank you. My mom will be happy to watch the recording, I'm sure.
She's praying to Saraswati, Sriya. She's praying to Saraswati for the betterment of her children.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.